All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to All You Can Eat Chelsea episode 231. 231 is upon us. And the feelings, well, for me, we'll see what the boys are feeling. I'm just confused. I'm just feeling very strange. I'm one part of me is like, I want to fight. I want to go to war. I want to compete. And my club's coming out and putting a PR. No, Miz. No one said to go to war. I don't know why you want to go to war. We don't want to go to war. So why are you going to war? You can go to war by yourself, but we're not coming. And I'm like, this situation is so mad. But we're going to talk about all of that. Javon, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing well, brother. Doing well. Life is lifing. I enjoy life. In terms of football, I feel like I've been let down. I've been ready to go to war since last season. I've been ready. I've been ready to fight these lot. And it's Chelsea's making football difficult because going on these panel shows, I get attacked, and I'm trying to be press resistant. But boy, am I giving the ball away, much like Andre Santos and Malagusto. But I'm fine. How you doing?
Yeah, bro. Like it's mad at the moment, man. I know no one's fine. Ultimately, no one's fine, Javon. Eunice, bro, how's things, man? How's things?
Good. Good. Things are good. Things are
Lovely,
good.
jubbly.
Yeah, lovely jubbly. And then when it comes to us, it's now it feels like now it's a case, now it's game by game where we're just hoping that something might arise. And then each time we do, then there's things that just go left. And there's players that flop, or we go down to 10, or Maresca doesn't know what he's doing, or we realize there's holes in the squad, or there's the recruitment side. There's so many layers to this. There's so many layers to this. But tonight's a big one. Tonight's a big one. And it's almost poetic as to what could happen tonight. So let's see what happens.
Yeah, bro, tonight. Do you know what the crazy thing is, Eunice and Javon, and big up to you, Matisse, as well, whenever Matisse sort of pops up. I'm seeing all throughout the timeline, and it's fair enough. Obviously, it's one of our legends coming back, which is it's always going to create some form of euphoria. I get that, but I feel like there's too much sensationalism that's happening towards Mourinho, and we're forgetting the task ahead. I feel like we're caught up in the fact that he's returning back to the bridge, and it's going to be a great atmosphere. We're going to see the legend come back. We need to win. We need to win. Like, please. Yes, it's Jose, and I'm going to be starstruck for a little while, no doubt, but bro, it scares me. We need to win. This is not some sort of a reunion party. I need to win.
But bro, at the same time, what I'll say, don't make sure that you differentiate between there's the fan base and then there's the playing squad that are actually showing up to play the football match. Of course, like, because we've got history, like many of these players don't have the same history. Like, there's many players that either they've just come to the club or they've come through the academy or they were kids back then, like all sorts. For us as fans, yeah, of course, because we remember we were all there. There's going to be a certain atmosphere and there's going to be a reaction, and it's justified and it's deserved. But the players, Maresca, all of this, and even during the game, everyone has a task at hand. So everyone needs to forget what everyone's forgetting. But before the game and even after, like Jose said himself, he's got the perfect balance here. As long as there's that, it's fine. It's fine. But we're not the ones going out on the pitch and trying to get the job done. So
I hear that.
Yeah.
No, I understand that. It's just I just hope that people, as a fan base as well, realizes that it can go so dark if we don't pick up the 3 points here. Matisse, brother, how you doing, bro?
I'm good. Are we even sure that Eunice is supporting us tonight? He might be on Jose Mourinho's side.
It's got the Benfica jersey on, bro. He might do a Benfica review at the end of the match.
Oh man,
Obrigado.
I can't lie. Yeah, you probably needed to tell me that because I'm so excited for Mourinho to come back. I forgot how bad we are for a bit. I forgot that. I forgot how bad, because you just think that Chelsea are going to beat Benfica at home, but that's a silly assumption to make. So really, unfortunately, you're right. We should lock in today. Even the crowd, we should lock in because we actually do need to make it. We need to start making it hostile for away teams. We need to start being the 12th man. Yeah, because I'm not gonna lie, I was gassed, and you just brought me back down to reality. I was like, oh damn, yeah, forgot we ain't really that good right now.
Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. All throughout my timeline, like obviously Eunice has been pumping Jose material, which is fine. I get that. George as well, George Benson, but not just these two. Like I see everyone, and I've been caught up as well. I'm very much caught up in the fact that Jose is back and whatnot. But then I'm like, if we didn't beat Bayern, if we don't beat Benfica, boy, like we have to make inroads in this Champions League. Anyway, that I'm going to park for a second because that is the secondary conversation that we're going to have. We're going to kick things off with the debacle that took place against Brighton. We'll start with you, Eunice. Eunice, much like yourself, Matisse, and myself, we went in with great optimism this season. Yeah, after a long, long time, we've gone into this season with great optimism, and rightly so. Qualified for the Champions League, really turned it around the final third of that last season. Conference League final, comeback victory, really took care of Real Betis and the way we ended up winning the Club World Cup. We all knew that the start wasn't going to be easy this season because, lack of preseason, this, that, the other, there could be some injuries, whatnot. And we all also agreed that the way the transfer window ended, we thought Xavi Simons was going to be in. Okay, if it's not Xavi Simons, then it was going to be Fermin Lopez. And then we ended up getting Mark Yu back. It was a little bit of a mess, right? But I think more or less we all said, you know what? They're still there to compete. There's still enough there to compete. Bro, I don't know what has happened to us. Brentford draw, Bayern Munich thrashing, Man United embarrassing loss, and Brighton, I felt we had a very decent first half where we should have scored maybe another goal.
Yep.
Everything seemed like it was in control. I didn't see Brighton at all until calamity struck, until as if there was a thunderstrike on the ground. Andre Santos, I mean, he was put in a tough position initially with Chalobah's pass as well. But then Santos also sold Chalobah to the Devils. And then everything went sideways, bro, after that. Everything went sideways. And here we are. How have we only got 2 wins out of the opening 6 games? And we're looking very, very mediocre. And we've got all of these injuries. And now we've got PR from the journalists, from Chelsea journalists saying, it's okay. That was never the target. We're not here to compete. I don't know why you're going to war. We never told you to go to war. Stay. We only won a Champions League football again. And deep run in the cups. They can't even say, let's win a cup. Deep throat a cup. That's what they want to do.
Brother, I know it's a show, but that phrase is wild. You cannot say that this early in the morning. That phrase is, bro.
But you know what I mean?
I don't even know what that means.
Like, go out there and win one. Go out there and win one. So, Eunice, bro, I'm just a bit perplexed right now. Like, I don't know how I feel about the club. The club's putting out PR saying that we're not interested to compete. We just want to stabilize.
No, and you know what's mad? If you remember, let's go back. We were told this towards not close to the back end of last season. Do you remember before we actually went on the run at the end where we ended up getting top 4? And we were still in the midst of results going left. And then Maresca come out publicly in that interview with Sky Sports, I think it was, that he said, the target is to get Champions League next season, not this season. You remember?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Turns out that seems legit. But we got Champions League last season, and not just even by getting top 5, by getting top 4. This is where after those words were said, and we were all like, what? Like, nah, we got to get it this season. What are we on about next season? Like, nah. And they were talking about the 2-year vision from last season and this season, like putting it together before Maresca gets judged, which now we're getting told at the end of this season, Maresca will be reviewed. So in that aspect, it's consistent. But for me, it doesn't add up, because if we're in a position where last season we didn't get top 4, as it was expected, right, by a lot of us, we were looking at the end of the season going, we're not winning those games. I remember I wrote it off after we drew and lost to Brentford and Ipswich. I'm like, yo, we're stuffed. And we were all anticipating there's no way we're going to go into those last games and do it. The expectation, if that were to be the case, would be to come into this season and maybe start talking about getting Champions League. But the thing is that we got Champions League. Like, we actually did turn it around. We did get what we wanted, and not by getting top 5, but by getting top 4, which was the initial goal at the start of last season, right? So the natural progression of things should be, and even after that, we didn't expect to win the Club World Cup. I had us out in the last 16. We went out and won it. The natural progression after you see those things is, okay, we got to go to the next level. Well, there's no reason to think we can't go to the next level because we've just done what we've done. So now talking about just getting Champions League, but that's not progression then. That's we just done
That's stagnation. That's stagnation.
That's like thinking, I use this analogy. If you go and try and compete in a race, and there's 10 of you, and you think, okay, now you know what, I'm fighting against Usain Bolt here. I'm not gonna win this. I might aim for trying to get on the podium, but then you end up getting on the podium. The next season and the next year, you compete with the same people. Are you gonna think, oh, you know what, I just want to get on the podium? No, you're gonna be like, I've been there. I want to now see what I can do to win it. That's the natural progression, and that's sport, that's competition, that's how it should be. Whether these guys are looking and going, no, you know what, because we've got a young squad and everything, we can just really take our time. Personally, I don't agree. And personally, it's if we've got what we've got. The transfer window that we had should also be the catalyst for us to now look to push, and top 4 is a minimum. Top 4 now should be the given, because we've been out of it for so long. Now we're back in it. That should be like, okay, make that our baseline again. That should just be there.
That's a given. Yeah, it's a given.
Season means we get top 4. That's a bad season, right? And everyone's aim here, irrespective of whether you think going for the title or not going for the title is realistic. Because everyone had their expectation, or everyone had their aim, or thinking, can we do it? Can we not? That's fair. But I think everyone agreed that we do need to go on a run to win a domestic cup. Right?
Yunus, I think we have to win one.
We have to win.
I think we have to win one.
Exactly. Now they're saying, alongside just getting top 4, is, if we just have a bit of a run. I'm like, but we've had runs.
We've had runs.
Like, we've already done.
I'll go for a run.
We've done that. Like, this is where and bearing in mind that the transfer window that we've had, and towards the end of it now, in hindsight, it's a thing where you can see there's some holes defensively, especially. We need to, even with the squad that we have, there has to be an element of pushing. Because that's how you achieve. If you really, put yourself against the walls and go, no, we have to. There is no ifs, buts. I feel like the club are trying to go in a direction, just like last season, where the expectation wasn't so high, but then we did actually turn it around. If they're thinking, okay, that's going to be how it is all the time, and without pressure we can succeed, I don't believe in that. Personally, I don't believe in that. I don't think that's the way to go overall. You need to apply some pressure on yourself. If not, you're not going to hit the upper echelons, trying to compete with the top teams in this world of Liverpool and even, you know, trying to fight Arsenal for the title, or going into the Champions League and playing all these teams, you know, you need to pile some pressure on. You can't just go, no, it's fine. That's just, you know, low expectation. And then that means the young players can perform. I don't believe in the long run, that's the best way to go. And that's what I think Chelsea are doing.
It's mad. Matisse, I'll go to you and then I'll go to Javon. I saw you talk yesterday in the Big Six. You're spot on, man. And I felt the same way. Like, I don't care if the club's not ready. We're ready now. We're ready now. We should be ready now. Like, 4th season under this ownership, we should be ready. This is not, what is this nonsense talk about cup run, top 4 again? Why is this stupid baseline being accepted? And I see all these, Maresca's never under any pressure. And I'm not saying get Maresca. I never said get Maresca, but people need to be under pressure at our football club. Yeah, everyone needs to be under pressure.
Yeah, any top athlete is under pressure. If you're not under pressure, you're not a top athlete. So just take away Chelsea for a second. In sport, you're meant to be under pressure. The best teams, the best individuals, you're meant to be under pressure. What they are doing is they're playing football on a spreadsheet. They're playing football on a data sheet. They're saying the first season in charge of this club, just finish. Just bust anywhere. Doesn't matter if it's on the floor. It doesn't matter if you finish on look at Javon. Look at Javon. I knew that would wake you up, brother. They were like, just finish.
Bust anywhere.
Just finish anywhere in the table. The next season, Conference League. So if we got, you know, Conference League, that's right on track. Europa League last season with Maresca. This season, Champions League. Next season, 26-27. Guess what the expectation will be? At best, challenge. A lot of you want to win. A lot of us want to win. No, it's just challenge. The season after that, then it might be win, because we're going up in very small steps. Now, this doesn't work for me. Doesn't work for most of us, many of us. Why? Because we know that this sport is not played on a spreadsheet. You can use some data to assist you, but what you cannot calculate and quantify is what the other clubs around you will do. Case in point, at the start of this window, it started well. With João Pedro de Lap, it started well. It looked like Chelsea were addressing their physicality issues. It looked like Chelsea were improving their depth, but they still had a whole heap more to do. They could not calculate and quantify for Liverpool dropping the money they dropped. They could not calculate and quantify for Arsenal getting the depth that they got, to the point now where their backup centre-backs probably start for us. Actually, they do.
They do.
Football is unpredictable. Yeah. You can't calculate and prepare and type up everything and plan, and everything just maps out exactly how you say it does, because you're not a fortune teller. And that's why you need to be able to react to what's around you. That's why you need to be able to respond to what's going on. And you need to be able to seize the moment. That's what this football club was really good at. Seizing the moment. Understanding when there is a chance and there is a moment to win, you win. Because you don't know when these moments are going to come and go, especially when you're not out and out the best. We haven't been a Man City where we've just done 3 in a row, 4 in a row. It's undeniable how good we are. It's undeniable how consistent we are. It's undeniable how dominant we are. We've not really been dominant. We pick up stuff and it all mashes together to be a dominant era. But it's along the way. Now, these lot want to be dominant. But what they don't seem to understand is Cole Palmer hasn't got time to wait for you necessarily to do what you're doing with no guarantees. Caicedo necessarily. These guys are ready to win now. And this is what frustrates me. You've got players in this squad like Reece James, like Caicedo, like Cole Palmer. João Pedro is looking brilliant. I think he's really is. I think he's come in and just shown levels. But these guys, Cucurella, they're ready to win now. And how can I justify not siding with those players, not saying, yeah, let's go to war with you because you are top tier. You are the best in your position in the league. How could I not side with those guys? How could I side with the guys that aren't ready? Why on earth would I do that? What would I possibly have to gain to side with the guys that aren't ready, that haven't shown levels and need more time and need more food and more nourishment? Why would I do that? As a supporter, why would I do that? Because I know the end result of these guys on my right not getting what they deserve. They're gonna start looking to move. Now, obviously, they're penned down to long-term contracts and whatnot, and that's all lovely. But when I'm reading articles about we need to sell to buy, I'm always in the back of my head worrying a little bit because I don't know what these guys are capable of. They haven't done it yet, but if the purse strings get tighter and the restrictions get, tougher, and it's, it's year after year, it's 4 years, apparently 3 years of this, I don't know what they'll do. I don't know what they'll do. And I'm not really trying to fuck around and find out. I'd like us to just be a little bit more respectful to our own badge. Because we got a Club World Cup, badge on our shirt. And right now we're not acting like world champions. We're acting like clowns. Now, the one thing I'll bring up is mental fatigue, because the amount of individual errors that is going on at this point, I need to try and understand why now, outside of me just being angry at every single player, because I can't believe the amount of individual errors. I can't believe the brain farts. I can't believe the decision making. I can't believe the choice of pass from Enzo against Lincoln, the mistake from Andre Santos. I can't imagine why Chalobah would think not to just let your man go and let it be 1-1. I can't imagine why Sanchez wouldn't just allow that to be a 1v1. You either save it or you don't. I don't understand the need to do something about a situation that you're so second best in, and not just allow it to play out almost and just go again and just respond. We just want to shoot ourselves constantly. I don't know if that's because of the Club World Cup. I don't know if it's because of lack of preseason. I don't know if it's because of lack of rest. But because we knew all of these factors going in, that's why the money that you spend in the summer needs to be spent in a way which means the players that do potentially have mental fatigue, which is more than understandable. If the manager comes out and says, some of these players here are mentally fatigued, they're having mistakes, they're human, they really are struggling because we just played so much. No break. Do you know what? No problem. We all kind of knew in the back of our head that could be an issue. We might burn out. We might not win the league because of that. But when I'm seeing 95 million's worth of winger on the bench that the manager doesn't trust to play one of them or bring them off the bench, you guys are meant to be in you're meant to be unified. You're meant to be collaborative. That's the whole thing that Tuchel got sacked for. You're not collaborating. So this is your collaborative manager. He doesn't trust the signings or the recalls that you've done. Someone's in trouble. And I'm sorry, it's not the manager. Because you guys can't keep pinning it on the head coach that you appointed for the second summer in a row. He doesn't trust what you've done. He didn't trust Felix. He didn't trust Guy. He doesn't trust you again. He's not trusting Gittins. Whose fault is that?
He didn't trust Renato Vega. He didn't trust Nkunku. He didn't trust so many. But this isn't good. This is not good. Like, Javon, I'm going to bring you in now. Like, the whole, as Matisse said, it was meant to be a collaboration. Like, see how us lads, we're collaborating, right? We have a pre-conversation. This is what we're going to do backstage, blah, 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 blah. And we get into an agreement and we come and do a show. I mean, how have we got to a situation, Javon, where it almost seems like the manager didn't want any of this? But how can you call this a collaboration then?
It could never be a collaboration the minute the club came out and said they wanted a head coach and not a manager. It was always going to be, you were always going to find yourself in situations like this, where a head coach is going to basically be this. This is what you wanted, this type of player. This is what I bought for you. Make it work. You were always going to find situations like this. Yes, you may sign a couple players that are going to do bits for you, and you're going to find a couple players that can bring the levels up at the club, but it's not going to be everyone. So that's where that comes into play. Because remember, we have a head coach, not a manager. We use the term loosely, but a manager has a bigger say in transfers, and a manager has a bigger say on who comes into the club. Now, with that being said, big up, Dan. With that being said, we are at a stage where there's more questions than answers, and it's really frustrating because, like the boy said, all of us are ready to go to war, but we got sent home. We got sent home packing. And another thing I wanted to make note of: if Enzo Maresca keeps on not using this player, he's going to be the one sacked.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. If he gets sacked, it still looks bad on the sporting directors, but the sporting directors are still going to have an excuse to say, hey, we still bought players, but he just never used them. So what I'm saying is the sporting directors will still have somewhat of a scapegoat, which is why not using those players you bought to show them whether they're good or not is still going to look bad. So the manager might as well use them. The manager, anyway you take it, the manager has to use them. Not using $94 million worth of assets, whether you find them as assets or liability, is still a big no-go. Players you bought from 2 seasons ago still can't get a prayer to play in, i.e. Mark Gu. We've seen a manager has a pattern where if he doesn't rate the player, it doesn't matter how much money you spent on him, he's not going to play them, whether that's to the detriment of him or not. Listen, this season is unraveling really quickly, and it is a regression in my opinion, because progression would mean you build up on what you've done before. We won two trophies last season, did we not? So what are you telling me, a cup run? I'm supposed to just be happy with a cup run with couple of cups and that's it, and just barely finish top 4? There's a reason why I said a title charge. Title charge means you go as far as you can go, possibly. Yep. And if you fall off, you fall off. But I'm expecting that at the end of the season. And then you definitely pick up a cup or two. You make a run in the Champions League. And a run for me in the Champions League is making it to the semi-final or the final. And you know what we are when you know what Chelsea's like when we are in the final. So again, we need to have some form of progression. I don't care who's injured. I don't care what balls or subs is being made. This club needs progression. And we've had progression over the few years. 12th, 6th, 4th. We should be finishing top 3 this season, in my opinion, and then picking up one of those important trophies. That is progression. And I'm saying, no, I lost faith in the manager. I'm keeping it 110%. I don't care what he comes with in the press. I don't care what he says in the press. I lost faith in the manager. You don't copy and paste the mistakes you make back-to-back games and then come out and say, oh, it's a learning process. Brother, we knew it was a learning process. Listen, it's a whole calamity of mistakes, and it needs to stop. And by the way, against Benfica, I don't feel like we'll win.
Bro, against Benfica, we're coming across a manager that is the champion when it comes to dark arts. Like, he would have seen exactly what some of these teams have done to us recently. To be honest, Brighton actually, once we went down a man, Brighton Mente especially, absolutely ripped us a new one. He would have seen what Lincoln did to us. Jose would have seen what Lincoln did, and Jose would have said, okay, that's my type of football. I'm ready to play that. Do you know what I mean? Be as physical as possible, make it as difficult, make it as ugly, make it as, try and rattle our players, get them riled up, pick up some yellow cards, send another one. Jose, I'm sure, is saying to his players, boys, these guys are known to get red cards.
Brother,
just light one up.
100%.
Light one up.
You do realize
Up.
the teams are copy and pasting how to attack us, right? It's not difficult. Just go along. Go along and apparently these defenders and whoever loses their head. And the manager sees that and makes no adjustment. I'm sorry, Matisse, go ahead.
I have no problem criticizing the manager, right? My problem is this. You both things can be right about, you're concerned with the manager and the directors. But the repercussions of sacking this manager is the long list of excuses of, we got a new manager now. By the way, not going to be the manager that you think it will be, because these guys have got something up their sleeve. So just remember that. So they got something special up their sleeve for you. More than you can believe. Manager comes in. Oh, he doesn't know the players. Oh, he doesn't know the team. Oh, he's going to need time. Oh, he's going to need delayed response now in terms of how we go about our aspirations. So we can't win now. So now we have to wait until next season. Next season. Oh, it's the manager's first full season. Oh, manager can't win the league. Oh, guess who just keeps getting more time to take the piss?
Sporting directors.
Up there.
Sporting directors, owners.
Just keep taking the piss. Keep revolving. As long as the revolving door keeps going on the players and the manager, these people are never accountable. Because now, new manager, new excuses. New manager, more time. New players, new excuses. New players, more time. And it just keeps going round and round and round and round until the wheels fall off. Nobody ever actually is accountable for anything. Because the summer, like I said to Don, we're on holidays. When the season starts, manager, players, they're the ones that are right in front. These guys are up there in the boxes, sulking, looking down, ready to go bust up into change rooms and whatnot. When really they know they're the reason for all this shit. Because they've been here the longest. But fine, sack the manager and then we go again. That's what it is.
I know what you're
saying.
I just lost faith. That's all.
There's many issues here, right? And big up the chat as well. Big up the panel. Because listen, I had a meeting.
Big up.
I'm a little bit late right now, but there's many problems here, innit? And listen, sporting directors, I've criticized them many times about certain decisions that they've made, right? And one thing that I've always said about these guys is that they're gamblers, right? These guys definitely love to go to Vegas, you know, for their breaks. They probably go Vegas when it comes to international breaks and that as well, just to go and gamble like they normally do when it comes to the windows that come around. Because we can talk about the year that we chased Osimhen and then he fucked us over basically on the last day. We didn't bring in a striker, right? I can talk about going into the season with Poch, knowing that, you know, the likes of Reece, the likes of who else do we have? Last season, going into that season, knowing the likes of Fofana, knowing the likes of Reece, knowing the likes of Lavia are injury-prone players, but not having adequate backup for them, still loaning out Santos, right? I can talk about those mistakes, yeah? I can talk about the left-hand side, how they brought in Garnacho and Gittins, when in an ideal world, you want to be bringing in a Rodrigo first, or in Dai first, and then you bring in a bench player. I could talk about that, right? I could talk about many things that they've done wrong here. You know what I'm saying? But just to go back a little bit with the centre back situation, yeah, because listen, obviously I do Blue Diaries weekly, and we were speaking about the centre back options available in the summer, and it was a very similar conversation to what we was having about the goalkeeper market. We was going through the centre back market, and it wasn't looking great, especially for someone like a Colwell, and that's why for me I was looking internally to go and bring Vega back, because to find someone like Colwell who's got that, you know, that pass from the back and can also defend, it's not an easy thing to do. You know what I mean? Then on top of that, you still have to get rid of these centre backs, and that's why in the end I was saying, bro, right now I don't even mind bringing in a Gahey. Yes, he might not be the best in the air. Yes, he might not be the complete profile, because there's a lot of people that don't really rate Gahey. But for me, what I was looking at was just bring someone in who's going to be 7 out of 10 minimum every single week. They don't need to be 10 out of 10 every week. As long as they're steady at the back and they're not doing what Josh did against Brighton, just giving the ball back to these guys, not doing what Chalobah did, like you lot have just been saying, where he gets himself sent off. Someone who's just competent at the back and steady enough and actually have a little bit of leadership, right? So we have to look at that as well. Like the market wasn't great, because it's a lose-lose. You go and bring in a Mosquera, for example, yeah. You're shaking your head, yeah, J1, but it's true. You go bring in Mosquera right now, you know what's gonna happen. Most Chelsea fans never heard of this guy. So as soon as, because I've never heard of him, he's shit. And now you've brought him a player that no one knew about. He's got no resume. He's barely got any experience. We're fucked, right? Or you go bring in someone that people know and people will still complain. You go bring a Van Hecke, for example. You know what I'm saying? You go bring a Gahey. There'll still be people complaining. You know what I mean? So I'm just looking at it from the conversations I was having in the summer. When I was talking to many people, including the chat, about centre-back options and, you know, left-wing options and goalkeeper options, the market seemed kind of cooked. I'll be real. The market seemed kind of cooked, bro.
So can I have a bit of rebuttal here, right? I've heard this talk from you, Matisse, and others that do Chelsea content creation, and my rebuttal will always stay the same. Not because we're going to complain about who the player is, doesn't mean you bring in a player of quality. Because we're not sporting directors, we're not scouts. You can bring in a player that no one knows about, but when starts playing, shows the quality that we need. That's what a sporting. Let me finish. That's what a sporting director does. I am not hearing this conversation that the market is cooked. Fuck that, brother. Stop.
No, but Javon, you're making my point for me though, because the thing that these sporting directors have done, they've brought in players that a lot of people don't know about, but they're not being used, bro. They're not being used, right? It seems like the only way Maresca is going to be using players is if we know about them. That's what it feels like to me, because most men don't know about Gil. He's not being used. Most men don't really know about Buenanote. You know, he's not really being used like that. I know he got used the other day, but you can look at the red cards as well. Red cards has meant that there's been some weird decisions. You know, obviously we know about Garnacho, we know about Gittins, but again, 2 red cards in a row has made this guy's brain go all over the place, right? So you're right in what you're saying. I agree with you. Like, sorry, miss, just to finish up, yeah. I agree with what Javon's saying, but I'm just saying that even if the scouts did do this, if the sporting directors went and brought in players that we don't know about, I know this fan base at the back of my hand. People would have been complaining.
But the fan base doesn't play the game. We're here to critique. We're here to critique and analyze what we see on the pitch. So you could have brought in John Doe, right? Everybody's gonna say, "Oh, who this John Doe fella is?" But if he's single-handedly keeping us clean sheets at the back, everyone's gonna praise John Doe. So what that point about the fans complaining and us complaining is null and void. It is null and void. Bring in your lead centre back goes down, and you waste money on Gittins and Garnacho. You don't prioritize bringing in a centre back. It doesn't matter who we have to sell. We're still going to have a bomb squad because we still have a bomb squad now.
So let me put my 2 cents here. I think this is a very interesting conversation. It's just triggered something off my head, and I'd love to hear what you guys have to say about this. Right? Certain parts of the fan base wants names. Okay. Whenever I say X player, they start laughing at me. I'm pretty sure you guys had the same situations on your live stream when you say, bring this guy on, and the entire live chat is laughing. Oh, look what this guy's asking. He's asking for this guy to come on. What a joke. This is not our Chelsea. Okay, so there's certain parts of the Chelsea fan base that wants names. We want names. God damn it, that's what Chelsea was about. Names. Then there's the other part of the Chelsea, I think, who trying to understand, and this is where I see a lot of people in the live chat, speak the truth. I don't know what the truth is anymore. I'm not even sure. I'm just trying to understand why Chelsea are doing what they're doing. Why aren't these sporting directors and owners going out there buying the big names that are ready made to go? Why aren't they trying to do that? My understanding of that is they feel that that's too much risk to take. We've been burnt before. Raheem Sterling is in the building earning 350,000. Lukaku was a problem, and the list goes on. Koulibaly was brought in the first 6 months of sporting directorship of Todd Bowley. There was names that didn't work out. And there were names even prior to that. Kai Havertz didn't work out. Timo Werner didn't work out. So many players, even under Roman, that didn't work out. So I'm just simply trying to understand, why are these owners moving the way they are? And I feel that they're doing this is because they feel it's too risky. Okay, so that's one side of me trying to understand that they feel it's risky. Now they want to play this Moneyball type of situation, which, let's be honest, we've talked about a lot of stuff that hasn't worked out, but we've also need to highlight what has worked out. Cole Palmer, for example, has worked out. João Pedro in recent times has worked out. Andre Santos looks like it's going to work out. Estevan Willian looks like it's going to work out. My question is, with the CB situation, Levi Colwill was injured, right? We knew that from the get-go. You have all of these plethora of CBs. Why was Mamadou Sarr? Why did he have to go to Strasbourg? Now people are going to laugh. Oh, look at this idiot. He wants Mamadou Sarr to represent Chelsea.
That's what they do. That's what they do.
What?
That's what they do.
Why was he sent? Why was he like? Who could we have got? Because you're sure as hell you're not getting Virgil van Dijk at Chelsea Football Club anymore. You're not going to do that.
I ask them all the time. Give me the names. When I spoke to them about the goalkeeper situation, right? Because people say a lot, but when it comes to problem solving, when I start running away from problem solving, talking about it's not my job. Oh, bring me Ramsdale. They were telling me, yeah. They were telling me bring me Hermansen, bro. This is what they were telling me when I was talking about the goalkeeper market. And I said, bro, listen to the names that you're telling me right now. Listen to what you're telling me, because man, not acting like this market is flooded with world-class talent, right? I'm a bit old school, bro. I like going out there scouting. I liked when we went out there and got Vega. No one knew a thing about this guy. Man looks like he came from the 70s, in fact, with a mustache and that, yeah? We just see that here we go out of nowhere. I'm like, who is this guy? It's intriguing. Let me go do my local wire scout. Let me go do my local research, yeah? And I was showing the man them. I said, yo, this guy looks good. You know what I mean? But unfortunately, people are too lazy. People are too lazy to go do their research, bro. You can go watch many things on YouTube. I'm sure you can go get a VPN and find a website where you can watch games back of these guys, so you know what they're about. Because what I've realized is as soon as people don't know about a manager or about a player, they're shit in their head, right? They're shit. Why are we going to be using this guy? Yeah. It doesn't take long for a player to make a name for themselves, bro. But you have to give them that opportunity. Of course you do. Yeah. Obviously, we all wanted Xavi Simons. We all thought Xavi Simons was coming in. But the reality is UEFA have us in a chokehold, bro. That's why Bonanote came in. Yeah. We weren't able to get Kudus. We weren't able to get
whose fault is it that we're in a chokehold?
Bro, you already know about the UEFA restrictions. We got bagged from the previous ownership. You know what I'm saying? We got bagged from the previous ownership. So these lot have actually come in and they've sold the hotels. They've thought outside the box when it comes to the Premier League. Premier League allow it, but UEFA don't allow the sale of the women's team. They don't account for the sale of the hotels and that. So you have to be, you know, selling to buy. That's exactly what happened. So people need to realize, people need to do a little bit more research into the club and what's going on before they say things. You know what I'm saying? We were restricted, bro.
I think the biggest situation here is, I remember Yunus saying this, which really did light me up when he said, financially, because we don't, I don't know if you remember this, Yunus, it was during the transfer window when you said there's a reason why we have to sell Nkunku to get this guy, we have to sell Jackson to get that guy, because ultimately we're in a bit of a financial mess. I fully get what Matisse is trying to say. Who got us into this mess? I say, we don't make enough money. That's what got us into this mess. Like, Chelsea Football Club don't make enough money. That's a huge problem for Chelsea. We didn't see all of this because back in Roman times, and if you guys even remember, even Roman wasn't competing after the Antonio Conte trophy, Premier League that we won. We didn't compete for the Premier League since then.
Miss, we finished. I'm pretty sure we finished 26 points behind Man City the year after we won it. 26 points, people, nearly 30 points.
Maybe if we had a front shirt sponsor, we'd have a little bit of money. You know, it just dawned on me. It's the third season running. The third season running.
We don't have enough money, but look how much money we've spent.
Thank you.
Look how much money. Look how much money we've spent, and look at our options in some positions. But we don't have enough money. We got no money, but the front of shirt sponsor is still blank, and these guys are still negotiating, even though we're getting worse and worse. So the negotiation position is just getting weaker and weaker. But we don't have enough money. But we're meant to sit here. Hold on, we're meant to sit here and feel sorry for these billionaires that were meant to be better than Roman. As they said, we're not maximizing from a commercial standpoint. We're not maximizing from a marketing standpoint. These guys are the big head hunchers that know everything, but yet we're in restrictions and we don't have enough money. And we're buying players that are massive risks because we want to try and lie to ourselves and pretend like it's because we're listen to me now. If the recruitment and the data is so good, the hit rate on the signings that we're bringing in should not be as low as it is. And we should not be having to flip them as often as we have to. If you're so good at your Y Scout, why the fuck is Jorgensen shit? Why?
Thank you, sir.
Why is it every time I talk about a player that is meant to be ready, because this scouting is just so elite? This recruitment is so elite. So why are you having to sell so many of the players that you brought in? Why are we having to flip them so constantly, so often? If the recruitment is that good and the searching and the digging and the unearthing of the talent in this big wide world that we have is so great, well, then the squad should be built by now. Because how many years have we been doing the Y Scout? So many years. So we should have our team now, no? But we don't have our team, because you know damn well next summer we're going to sell some of the players we bought this summer. You know damn well this summer we're going to be having to move a lot of pieces. We're going to have to make about 7 exits, 7 incomings, because we can't just do a little bit. We always have to do a lot. And we're not making
just to make sure we're on the same page, yeah? Like, before you come in as well, Eunice, yeah? For me, Matisse, the areas of the transfer window I wasn't happy with was the left-hand side, for one, right?
Yeah.
Centre-back situation, I was not happy with that. I thought we'd bring in a centre-back at least one, because even before Colwell got injured, I was saying we need a new centre-back, right? And then also the goalkeeper. Ideally, I wanted an upgrade as well. Are these the 3 main areas that you're focusing on?
I'm not talking about the summer anymore. I'm talking about the whole wider perspective. People say that, oh, we're unearthing. We haven't unearthed enough for this stance to be so strong. Most of the signings that have worked out for us have been the most expensive, and they are the most key players right now. And they're academy players like Levi Cole, Reece James, and then some of the other talent coming through. The gambles like Mudryk, his ass is in jail. The gambles like Madueke, his ass is at Arsenal. Jackson, his ass is in Bayern Munich on the bench. I can keep going and going and going. Last summer, don't even let me get onto that. So really, you're just clutching at a couple people on one hand. And you know we've made more transfers than one hand. So if your unearthing was really working, we wouldn't need as many players as we do, because the centre-back situation will be taken care of. But the Monaco brothers are on their way out, aren't they? Because they're not fucking good enough. So I'm sorry, I'm getting a bit wound up here, because I feel like you guys know that this is bullshit in terms of this recruitment, and you're still allowing it to run because we don't make enough money. Get a front of shirt sponsor. What is taking so long? In 4 divisions of football, every single club have a front of shirt sponsor, but we don't. And it's just passed off as a joke. When the UEFA
3 years running, by the way.
UEFA restrictions come in. Oh, it doesn't matter. UEFA restrictions. We got 26 million from the Club World Cup. Who cares? Now you all damn well know every single summer for the next 4 seasons, as said by Simon Jordan on TalkSport, we are restricted 1 in, 1 out. How disgusting and devastating is that to know that Chelsea Football Club are operating on a sell-to-buy basis every summer for the next 4 years? And you know the consequences of that, because this summer we wanted to get certain players that were briefed. Oh, well, here's another example, Mike Maignan. Why couldn't we get that deal over the line, Don? You said that deal was going to get done. You told me that deal was going to get done after the Club World Cup. Now we got Jorgensen as a backup. It's not good enough, bro.
I blame you for your man.
A couple of million. Why? Because he's also 30 years old. He's 30 years old. That's why. He's 30 years old. There's no resale. There's no profits to be made on.
It's not due to his age. It's because of their stupid valuation. It's their stupid valuation, bro. Don't do the age thing. Don't do the age thing. It's
I have to do the age thing. I have to. Why couldn't they get that deal done?
Looked him in the first place.
You're on mute, Eunice.
There was no negotiation for Garnacho. There was no negotiation for Gittins. These deals just get done straight away. Bang, 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 bang. I don't see no incremental bids, no nothing. Even though these clubs are in weak selling positions. Man United had him in the bomb squad. Take your 40. Mike Maignan, someone that could compete at least with Sanchez. Nah, here's 5. Here's 7.5. Here's 8. Here's 9. What
they violated.
No, and why?
Because I literally said it at the time. I've got tweets saying that they violated, bro.
And they're anticipating,
violating, bro.
They're anticipating.
You're violating me, bro.
They're anticipating to go and get. They're anticipating to go and get Mike Maignan now for free, but that's a big risk. When you could have just paid the money. The whole thing about having to flip is clear. It is because of these restrictions now, which is we've put on ourselves. This way of making money is the primary source of revenue for the club right now, because we ain't got a bigger stadium.
This is what I'm saying.
Sponsor, and the front of shirt sponsor. As much as after winning the Club World Cup and all of that, and I think we all had this. I had this for sure. I was like, you know what, we can get something monstrous now because of this, and something's still not over the line. The season started. Now you can't get what you could have got at the start of the season because the season's already begun, and we've already played Champions League fixtures. We've already played some games in the season. Now you're going to have to think about what you can get for the rest of the season. It's a position now where it feels like, okay, you know what, just take what you can get. But the club don't want to do that. The club don't want to accept 40-45 million a year, for example. If not, Damac would still be on the shirts. It would have been, if you're looking for 60-65, it seems like no one actually wants to do that. But that's what Chelsea want. And that's hindering us now. Is it best to go and just go, you know what, it's 50-55, take it? Probably so right now, but then that would be locked in for a while. That would be game over. But that's better than nothing. The window and going into the debt, for example, right? I see people in the chat talking about the debt because that's public information. We should all know that. We were speaking about this last season. That's not stopping us. As much as there is debt, right? And in terms of the club taking money out and whatnot based off of debt, right? Has that stopped us spending 300 million in the last window? No. The money's being spent irrespective. We're selling in order to get revenue and balance the books because of restriction and all of that. Fair enough.
It's another new revenue stream. It's the
primary stream now for the club to make money. It's the quickest way to balance the books. It's the quickest way to balance the books season in, season out. If not, we're in trouble. And right now we know if we go above 20 million, I think it is on the UEFA restriction, we get kicked out of UEFA competition.
And the fuck thing is, as all units, yeah, bro, Everton have a bigger stadium than us, bro.
This is it. But if we're talking about not being able to spend correctly, we ain't got enough. No. We've proven that we can spend. If we are selling, we can spend, right? But what have we spent on? This is where we turn to, let's be honest, 50. We were all waiting for Xavi Simons. We're all waiting for like these sort of players. Even prior to that, Kudus. We spent 55 million on Gittins. That doesn't mean that Chelsea don't have money to spend. The money's there. It's been spent. We've just spent it on Gittins. That's the issue here. You know, imagine if we had actually, instead of being in a situation afterwards, we're in a situation afterwards where we haven't gone in for Gittins. We haven't gone in for Gittins because we've wanting to balance things out. We got to sell a player. We got to get rid of Nkunku. We got to get rid of Jackson. When you look in hindsight, and hindsight is a beautiful thing, we could have just, instead of going for Gittins in the first place, go for one left winger if it was going to be Garnacho or who else, and get Simons. Done. And then I don't think anyone would be complaining because the same money's been spent, but it's been spent on players that people would look and go, you know what? That's a level right there. Cool. The centre-back situation, we turn to that again because people will look at the centre-back situation and go, okay, we could have spent there. But again, 55 million has been spent on Gittins. We've got another that's been spent on Garnacho now, but he's not even being given a sniff into the team. As Matisse correctly said, there's 85 million pounds worth of player on the bench that we're not turning to in games where we need to actually go out and attack, and we're relying on defending when we haven't actually gotten reinforced the defense after Levi Cole got injured in the first week of August. These are things. It doesn't mean that Chelsea ain't got the money to spend or anything. We were the second highest spenders in the window behind Liverpool. But we were also the ones with the best net spend because we did sell a lot of the players to generate revenue. And that's going to keep going for the next 4 years because we've got UEFA restriction. That's something that everyone, that's going to be how it is. But when we do spend, that needs to be spent correctly. That needs to be spent correctly.
That's the key word.
That's the biggest question mark. If we keep spending money on nonsense, the money's still being spent, but what are we spending the money on? We're not spending the money on quality. So that's where this whole conversation gets misconstrued and gets muddied. Oh, Chelsea don't have money to spend. We have money to spend. Just spending the money on nonsense. We're spending the money on sweets and garbage instead of things to vitalize the body and make the body healthier.
The initial fear was after prior windows, the initial fear was, yo, we're not going to have money to spend. We're done. That's not the case, though. We've actually gone and spent, and we will continue to, as long as there are players that we're bringing in that are going to be sold as well, and that's done on profit. There's going to be money that's there and budgeted that we can spend, that it has to be spent correctly. And we have left ourselves with holes. Defensively, we've left ourselves with holes. There have been good players that have come in, correctly so, but defensively, it's a mess. It's a mess.
We never spend the money correctly in recent times. Probably you could track it. I haven't done it yet. I'm going to do it at some point. I want to see what players we've bought after $1 billion spent, which was mandatory. I want to see what the spend looks like after that $1 billion spend. Gittins signed for 55 million or whatever it was, 52. Yeah. Chukwuemeka went to Dortmund. Ensamino went to Dortmund. The priority is always relationships. What can you do for me? You scratch my back, I scratch yours. So you're talking about selling players, more back scratching next summer, more you do this for me, I do this for you. More triangles, more squares, more circles. But it's never going to be, from what I can see, because now I'm, I wanted these guys moved on 2 years ago. So I'm just seeing what I'm seeing. It's not, the priority is not football. The priority is not football. Gittins and Garnacho, you're not prioritizing football. You're not. Because we should not have 95 millions worth of left winger that the manager cannot turn to. The manager should, and I said this, do not give the manager any excuse. The manager should not even be able to even fathom not using the players that you're bringing in. Because the players that you're bringing in should be so good and so talented, it should be undeniable. Right? It shouldn't be up for question. This is a coach. This is a guy that he's been in football longer than these guys that are just here to say, oh, why isn't he using this? Why isn't he using that? Look, you brought him in, so he must be smart. We're not gonna take the coach and drag him through the mud now. You hired him. Remember, they spent 72 hours a day researching about this guy a couple of summers ago. They unearthed him from Y-Scout. So don't start slagging off the coach, because this is your fucking coach. This is your project manager. So don't start slagging off the coach. You know this coach. You know this coach inside out. So if this coach has, unfortunately for you, won a couple of trophies and developed a winning mentality to the point now where he wants signings that can help him win the league, win the Champions League, and he's not entertained by Gu, and he's not entertained by Gittins, and he wanted a centre-back, and he wanted a new keeper, because that's what was briefed or whatever. I'm afraid I have to side with the guy that may have just shifted his mentality into a winning one. I'm not going to side with the people that are not trying to win at the highest level.
This is true. This is true.
I'm sorry.
It's true.
I'm sorry.
This is true.
Y'all
This
gonna
is
have
true.
to let me cook, because you need to understand every manager that comes through here are gonna do one of two things. They're either gonna sit and take this bullshit, this revolving door of UEFA restrictions, 1 in, 1 out policy, not prioritizing the pitch, always prioritizing the finances, and they're gonna put up and shut up. And we're not going to achieve what we need to achieve with that model as it stands, because
I'm confused. Why did you predict? Why did you predict us to finish?
Bro, I'll get to that.
How you feel about the team?
We'll get
Just
to
how you
that.
feel about the team. Why did you predict?
No. Again, I put us up there because I see weaknesses in other teams, which is shown to be there, right? We can see that Liverpool are not perfect. We've seen the performances. Arsenal, there has been weaknesses, and also because I trust our main guys, our top players, to perform at the highest level. And I was saying, whilst I was saying this, the guys that I don't want here are going to have to raise it. But I want to speak in this tone. I want to speak as a title race kind of person. I want to speak as a person. I'm not interested in putting out any energy right now as if we're going for top 4 and we're in a cup run. I don't care if it's reality or it's not. Call me delusional all you like, but that's where I'm at. I'm in a position now mentally where I want to win shit. I want to go for the best. So I'm saying it. And if I get clipped and if I'm wrong, I don't give a shit really, because that's where we should be. As long as you know that that's where we should be, that's all I care about. You should know right now that what I'm saying is what we should be doing. We should be going for the title. We should be challenging, and that's the end of it. If it doesn't happen for whatever reason, then fair dues. But that is, and I'm going to keep saying it every season, whether you like it or not, whether it's reality or not, that is what we should be doing.
Agreed.
Because people need to hear it. People need to hear it. If I say top 4 and cup, some people that listen to me, they'll think, oh, we're bang on track. Yeah, we're on track. That's what we should be doing. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's not.
Do you know what, Matisse? Everything that you've stated over the last 20, 30 minutes, you're not wrong one bit. I think most of us agree that that is spot on. What I'm trying to get to is we're not getting rid of these sporting directors today, are we? Like, is there a news? Can we get rid of them today?
Nothing's happening.
We're not going to get rid of them. We're not going to get rid of these owners. This is why I entered this season, even with all the fuckery that took place, right? Even with Gittins, I was one of the very first ones, along with all you guys. I never wanted Gittins, but I had comments left, right, and center on that video. Miss, don't disregard Gittins. Look how Cole Palmer turned out, blah, 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 blah. I got smoked, right? Garnacho. By the end of when Garnacho entered Chelsea, I think more than 50% started to like Garnacho, right? There's polls out there. I'm pretty certain. Before that, people weren't liking Garnacho, but by the time he had the Chelsea jersey on, yeah, maybe he can do something, right? What I'm trying to get to is the window's closed, right? And I feel like Enzo Maresca, he also hasn't done the due diligence as well. I'm not asking for him to be sacked. I'm not asking to bring a new manager because I know they're not going to bring my manager or any of our managers. They're going to just bring another trialist, right? But with what we have, did we not say, wow, okay, Andre Santos, that's a good return. He's coming back to Chelsea Football Club.
This is
Did
my
we not
point,
say?
like,
Did we
looked
not
at
say
the squad.
Esteval?
Matisse looked at the
Yeah.
squad and said, "Second."
Yeah,
Huh?
I looked at the squad and I said,
Yeah, no,
we definitely need to finish.
You got to take accountability. Go on, Miz. Go on, carry
Yeah,
on.
I said we need to finish. If we're not finishing first and second, we need to be a close third. We need to be a close third, right? Looking at where the squad was, how we were ascending, I felt like, mentality, like surely all of that has some value. I'm pretty sure Eunice will agree with me because Eunice loves the mentality factor of things, that these intangibles, there's no value to it. Growing in your stature, in your mind. All of a sudden, in these last 4 games, everything has disappeared. Everything from everyone. Where's this stemming from? Why isn't the manager got a little bit more grit to it? Managers making mistakes as well.
Yep.
Copy
I
and
wanted
paste.
And that's the thing though, Miz, yeah, because last season we spoke about, the team actually having a mentality shift from the players to Maresca. Obviously, we won the Club World Cup, we won the Conference League and that as well. Ironically, that final had more quality in it than the Europa League. You know what I mean? And there was a couple of people saying Betis are going to beat us and that. Isco, they got something for us. Anthony got something for us. We were losing that game as well. We had to come back and, Maresca made some good subs at halftime. We done our thing, right? I heard many Chelsea fans in the summer going into the season, even with the squad that we've got, even with the problems that we had, like people like Matisse predicting second, people like myself predicting second. I actually changed my prediction after the window because I thought we'd probably get a centre back and we'd probably get Xavi Simons. I actually changed it to third after that, right? But most Chelsea fans I was speaking to were very optimistic because, again, change your mentality and they were seeing Chelsea playing well, right? But these conversations are always going to be happening when the team ain't playing well because you're not going to have the confidence that you've got in the team, right? And when you go look at the last 2 games as well, you're talking about the left-hand side. As much as I would have built the left-hand side way differently to what they did. We haven't been able to see these guys because of adverse situations that have happened, right? Both of these games, bro, we've had fucking red cards. Yeah, you can argue about Maresca. Yeah, you should have brought on Garnacho and that. Remember Garnacho against Brentford? What this guy was doing off the ball, sleeping. You know what I'm saying? So now you think Maresca's going to trust him?
You know what? Pedro Neto
David.
came out and said we need to be in the attack. Pedro Neto saying
Yeah,
we
can't.
that was against the manager.
Neto should have stayed on again. Neto should have stayed on.
It would be rubbish as well based on the 3rd goal against Brighton, but the game was lost at that point anyway. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like there is a case of allowing a few games for a run.
I hear what you're saying, and for me, Neto shouldn't have bro. We crashed it on Maresca after what he did against United, right? But for me against Brighton, the only sub that I didn't agree with, right, after speaking to Lewis yesterday, I said, you know what? I hear your point. Was taking off Neto for a midfielder. I would have probably done a like for like. You know what I'm saying? I would have probably done a like for like in that aspect. Maybe just keep a little bit more of an outlet on the pitch. But bringing Gusto on, I didn't really see a problem with that because you could already see before. You could
no. That was a huge problem.
Let me finish, bro. Before we brought Gusto on, Reece was getting doubled up on, bro. I don't know if you guys remember. Shortly before,
I didn't see a mistake either.
No, Reece had that side locked down.
Nah. He was getting smoked by Mente. He was
getting doubled up on that side.
But what did bringing that Gusto do?
Until when that shifted?
Hold on, Javon, bro. Gusto coming on was supposed to assure the defense. Gusto didn't have a great game. It's as simple as that.
He had an absolute fuckery of a game, but the idea was, I thought the idea was right as well. Personally, I thought the idea was
the only thing I would have done is Neto for a winger because bro, shortly before, go watch the game back. You can see Matoma. There was even a moment Matoma spun Reece, bro. He spun Reece. I'm pretty sure he put a ball into the box and that as well. Minte was having fun on that side on the left. So it was like, yo, they're attacking us now. They're on top of us now. I need to counter that by bringing on a defender. I don't want to be seeing Esteval up against Minte.
Okay, so
half an hour. No way.
So you bring on Gusto, right? Why was Gusto when he was on the pitch primarily going forward then? Explain that to me. And why even when Gusto came on, Minte still skipped past him. He skipped past him worse than he did Reece James. What are we talking about?
Yeah,
What
but
are
it's
we
about
talking
reducing.
about? Bro, that's a foolishness.
It's about reducing the odds, though. If
Maresca,
a better defender than Gusto.
brother, tap that Fuska. Maresca made a mistake. If you're going to
She admitted
double
to.
up on that side, if you're going to double up on that side, bring on Badia Shield earlier and push Josh out there and keep her forward to stretch the pitch, guys. Guess what? 1-0. 1-0. Gusto had the opportunity to make it 2. What did he do?
He ran back.
He got scared, bro.
That was mad. That was mad.
And I'm not just talking that. There was three other counter-attacking situations where he broke down. Because guess what? He was the most player going forward. He was one of the players going forward when we needed it the most. A defender. Again, copy and paste fucking mistakes. So what are we talking about? Stop.
Nah,
it,
man.
Listen,
I'm sorry, man. I crashed it on him after the United game. He threw in the towel against United. Gusto coming on and not having a great game, yeah? Because the thing is, let's not act like we haven't seen Gusto progress the ball and not cut back the way that he fucking did the other day. He clearly got scared, bro. And that's a mentality thing again. We spoke about it yesterday because, yes, in a situation like that, Esteval would obviously keep running 110%. But I'm sorry, bro. Minte is a very good player. I was never going to leave Esteval out there to mark Minte for another 25 minutes.
It's not about what he does defensively.
You're talking about John. Hold on, Javon. Has Gusto been playing badly recently, bro? In recent form?
Yes.
Going forward, the consistency with Gusto remains the
defensively,
same.
Yes.
Defensively,
Offensively,
I'm talking about
what games has he been bad, Unit? What games has he been bad?
Defensively,
he made a mistake against Bayern. He made a mistake against Bayern.
It's Bayern Munich. But
the rest of the game, he was bad.
I say defensively and offensively, there's two different things here. But I don't want I'm not relying on my defender to be good defensively and be shit defensively.
Thank
He's
you,
a defender.
Eunice. Thank you, Eunice.
Wait, hold on. Let's go back a little bit. You think Gusto was shit defensively? Okay, the mistake, I can acknowledge the mistake against Bayern. You think against Bayern he was shit defensively, bro?
Brentford, Bayern Munich, yes. Defensively, yeah. Offensively, there's a whole thing about the way that he moves forward, and I agree. And it's the occasion that we saw against Brighton where he gets himself into positions, but then do you execute? I mean, that thing against Brighton was just that epitomizes everything. Like I can understand if you're, like you're saying, maybe he bottled it. If you're about to run into someone and you have to take them on, and you think, no, you know what, I'm going backwards. When you got free space, you got a giant flipping field full of roses, a beautiful meadow to run into. And you go, no, I don't want it, mate. I'm going backwards. What's that about?
Eunice, hold on. Because Matisse and I was going back and forth about the Hato situation, and he yelled at him with CB, and this is what Javan says, this and that. How about we ask Maresca a question? You have a senior centre back on the bench, whether you rate him or not. Why in God's name are you putting 2 teenagers, 2 young defenders as your centre back? You know what you do? You put on Badia Shield, you push Josh out wide in his natural position, have Reece James, Mark Mintenta, Winterfresh, or whatever his name want to be, and have some form of defensive double up out there, and you still leave an attacker going forward because guess what? You're still 1-0 up, and you still have to offer some form of a threat so Brighton can think. That's what you do. You don't put on someone that has been offensively poor for us all season going forward. And you know what? If you put a senior centre back in there, Hatta doesn't look as bad. Someone's there to chat the run off Welbeck. What are we talking about? It still goes back to poor decision making. Anywhere you slice the cake. So what are we talking about? What are we really doing?
But again, that's your opinion, and that's why you keep 11 players on the pitch, right? Because whatever you say, whatever take you want to come with, Javon, I can pick out gaps in what you've just said. I don't think Josh going forward in that position is doing much in a similar situation to Gusto. I don't. I think you'll get caught if anything.
Did you hear what I just said? Josh would be in that position. I said push Josh over to the right to give Reece James help. You still keep the attacker on. You still keep, even if you take Neto out, even if you take Esteval, you put Neto on the right to stretch the pitch. You still need to offer an attacking threat.
That's the main sub that I criticize, bro. Yeah,
Jeez,
the winger. When the winger came off, I would have done a like for like, right? But again, Gusto having a poor game. I'm sorry, bro. That's not a Maresca. Gusto, he got done. He got done in the game. It's as simple as that. But listen,
do you know?
It's the overall decision making, because if
You
you're
know,
gonna think about
Even
the
Maresca
senior-
admitted it in the press
He
conference.
admitted it. He admitted it in the
Yeah.
press.
He did. I like that. I like that.
It's good.
Do you know what I find funny? Do you know what I find funny is that? So where are we with Gusto? Now we selling him again. We
I don't
put him in the
really care.
stock market. Put
If
him in the
you-
stock market again.
We got 3 right backs anyway, so I don't really. I mean, listen, I
Are
like.
we
I like
saying
Gusto.
Gusto's really been that? I don't know.
No. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, we've got Achimpong, we've got Gusto, we've got James. I'm not really expecting that trio to last without someone needing more game time at some point. Gusto and Achimpong are both young. I don't think it's a massive deal, regardless. That might be one of them little UEFA A-list profit brothers next summer anyway, to be honest, Gusto. That would make sense. If I had to pick between him
A-list
and say like a Palmer, boy, Gusto, boy, you better.
Bye-bye, Sean Paul.
Kick rocks,
Bye-bye,
you know what I'm
Sean
saying?
Paul.
So we have to get comfortable with talking about some of these first team players as you know, someone that can move on there's expenditure there. But yeah, it's top to bottom. The players. I don't know what's going on. I've never seen so many mistakes in my life. Chalobah, he's involved in everything. Fulham, Josh King, Man United, the header, Lincoln, not his fault. The weekend, Brighton, mostly not his fault. However, after said pass is played, what do you do? In my opinion, you don't do that. You don't do that. I don't think you have to get sent off. I don't think you have to make a challenge. You just allow your keeper to do his job. If we concede, guess what? We go and get the winner. I don't know why we're allergic to just understanding that the game isn't over just because we might have to concede. Why is 10 men the better option? I don't understand what's going through our heads. Why do we think going down to 10 men is a better position than being at 1-1 or being 1-0 down at Old Trafford after 5 minutes? What's wrong with this? Are these men sick in the head?
Matisse, you're entering a ring. You're entering a ring with one arm tied behind your back, bro. Like
Yeah.
all you're doing is making it hard for yourself. And listen, me and Javon were going back and forth. Javon, he's got his take. I've got my take on certain things, but I don't want to be speaking about that all the time, right? Yes, Maresca should be able to like deal with these situations, but I'm sorry, I want 11 men on the pitch. And if you do go down to 10 men, let it be for like 5-10 minutes max.
Yeah.
Not for the whole game against United. Not for the whole half against Brighton. So now you've changed the game. Yeah. That's a massive problem, bro.
No, and the other thing is, Don, it's too frequent. Like, if you're gonna get a red card, please don't get one for another season. Like, that's okay.
Exactly.
Like,
And that's what hindered us a lot over the last 2 games. We were already the Brentford game and the way we threw that in the last minute. We were winning that game, right?
Yeah.
Threw it away ourselves, shooting ourselves in the feet. Bayern Munich, again, naive against a top team like Bayern Munich. We should know what level we're operating at in that fixture. But then we don't help ourselves the next 2 games when we get someone sent off stupidly in both fixtures. And after every time we get down to 10, we're done. We're toast. This is why, like tonight, heading into Benfica, Liverpool on the weekend, this is where there's no room for error in that regard. We have to at least keep 11 men on the pitch because we at least offer ourselves something to get something from the game if we have 11 on the pitch. And it starts tonight. It starts tonight.
And that's why I'm struggling, because I even asked the question on Blue Diaries yesterday, right? Are we over analyzing what's been going on, especially against Brighton? Yeah. Because against United, what Maresca said, for me, I think is leaning more towards that game. Because that game was blatant in everyone's face that he threw that game away. Yeah, it was blatant, bro. Man took off 2 attackers instantly, right? The Brighton game, for me, the context was different, bro. We were winning the game. Yeah, we was winning the game. We wasn't chasing a goal. We was more trying to keep that lead, if anything, and at most get a draw in that situation. And if you actually watch how the game was going, Brighton were using their wide areas, bro. They were flooding us in the wide areas. That was a big problem. Even before we went down to 10 men, we was on the back foot already. You get it? Was on the back foot already, right? So I just I find it really hard for the past 2 games, yeah. Like, and that's why I feel deflated right now, because I'm like, I want to analyze the game, but I can't even fucking analyze it properly because there's a hole there, and there's a hole there, and there's a hole there, and there's a problem here, and this guy's injured, and Maresca's doing this, and I just want a normal game, please. I'm at the bridge later. I just want a normal game, bro. You know what I mean?
But these things are a part. But these things are a part of football. You have
Not this frequently, bro. Not this frequently, man.
I get it. It shouldn't be in back-to-back games, but you have to account for it. There's no way Maresca got a red card in the Manchester United game and then pulls up the Brighton at the bridge and say, "Okay, we'll never get a red card again." That's not how life works. That's not how it works. And for me, the Brentford game is worse because we're 1-0 up. We played well in the first half. Everyone on there, I was watching Matisse' watch along, and everyone was saying we need a second goal, right?
Exactly.
We don't get that. We don't get that second goal, even. And again, because it's saying that we have a soft underbelly, but even with being 1-0 down, we could still somehow low block it, play the ball long, and try to get that second goal, and then try to shut shop across the board. There's ways to get the win over the line. All right. Bare minimum, get the draw. That's all I'm saying.
I just think you can be angry with the manager in isolation, in these instances, in these moments. I don't understand wanting the manager out through this bad patch and it's just get out. If you wanted the manager out last season and fine. If you wanted the manager out after we won the Club World Cup, fine. But to want the manager to be sacked, in my opinion, because of a couple of bad managerial decisions, I don't really understand that logic. That's why I'm nowhere near it. I'm nowhere near it because it's like he's had a bad few weeks. It can happen. It can happen. Do you think Pep? Do you think even the best managers are having a bad few weeks? So I'm like, just as long as you've owned up to it, you understand, you comprehend, you don't do it again, we move. I'm nowhere near at my wit's end with this manager. I don't really understand how people could be. I really don't.
Let me ask the man then, yeah. Like, listen, obviously we've got international break coming up soon, and the first half against Brighton for me was probably our best half of football this season, right? In terms of the performance, how convincing we were looking. Final bit of execution could have been better. Like Esteval in key moments could have been better. I thought Neto was Casper in this game. I didn't really see much from that guy, right? And João Pedro, again, this is why it's frustrating for me, because if Delap was here potentially, you'll be seeing João Pedro playing where Palmer is meant to be playing. He wants to be involved in the game. I'm not really seeing this team and them creating for Pedro right now, bro. I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing any passes in behind, right? The only time I see João Pedro running in behind is when he's playing with Palmer. Maybe because he trusts Palmer. He knows, okay, when I run, Palmer's gonna find me. I'm not seeing nothing created for this guy. The sort of chances we should be creating for him are cutbacks, bro, crosses, that sort of thing. I'm not really seeing that right now, bro. So he's like nothing.
And also why? Over the context of the last few games, specifically the last 2, we retreat. We're not actually going forward like where we should, even with 10 men. Right now, look, if we had the personnel to be able to say, look, if we just lock up shop and just defend and we'll get the result, great. Bruv, that's what we used to do. We used to be kings of that. We're not scared of going in that direction. But as if you have the personnel. We ain't got the personnel for that right now. Defensively, we're a joke. In order for someone like João Pedro to be fully involved, well, he needs players around him to be able to generate all of those chances in the first place. But when we retreat to try and, after going down to 10 men for the last 2 games, we go, you know what? Take off a couple of the attackers. Let's just defend now. Let's try and contain. There's nothing João Pedro can do because he's by himself. And to be fair, this is why when we lost to Man United, I praised João Pedro because he was trying to do the job of 4 players at the same time. He's the only one up there. That's not fair on him. If even in a situation like we went down to 10 men against Brighton, and for that brief period, I think it was 10, 15 minutes, we were on the front foot. I was actually thinking, this is better. This is what we want. Instead of what we did in the United game, you're getting João Pedro involved that way. But then again, once you start retreating and you take the attackers off and you try to just pack the midfield and you try to just play defensive, there's nothing João can do. Personally, I don't think that's fair on him. What I will say is, the best way for Chelsea to approach games now, even if it feels risky, is to go on the front foot. It's like Pele said all those decades ago. Attack is the best form of defense right now. That's all we can do at our disposal. That's all we can do. And I think in turn that helps João Pedro, because if we do overload and we try and put the opponent on, their backs against the wall, I feel like João Pedro, as well as the players around him, will generate chances. I feel like even if players around him are spreading the opposition out, he gets more space. There's more opportunity. I think we'll get more out of João Pedro, because one thing's for sure, even if he's not a traditional 9, he can finish. That's for sure. So we need to help him. We need to help him.
Do you know what?
Yep.
It's been a fantastic conversation, but it's now I want to keep this depression going. Do you know what I mean? We've got a match coming up against Benfica. Matisse.
Yeah.
Jose Mourinho returning back to the bridge. Seems like a celebration, which is fantastic, but we've got a task in hand. We've got 2 more matches left. We've got Benfica, we've got Liverpool, and then it's international break. And so far, this patch of games in this period until the international break comes, it's been horrific. It's been horrendous. As you said, everyone can have a bad time. The manager's going through a bad time, but it needs to be snapped out. We need to snap out. Tonight, we need to snap out of it. How you feeling, bro?
I don't know. I don't know, man. I'm not really thinking about tonight right now. I'm thinking about Liverpool on the weekend. In my head, it's mandatory that we win tonight. Mandatory. I don't really care how we get it done. We just have to get it done. And I'm expecting us to get it done. I'm still confident for tonight. It's Saturday I'm worried about. I'll be honest. Saturday's the one that I'm really... Because first game after international break, I think, is Forest. I need to check what time it's at. Maybe it's lunchtime kickoff. I hope not. City ground. That's my concern, is Premier League right now. Champions League, in the league phase, I'm not concerned. I'll be honest. I'm not concerned. I think a lot of the kind of football is different in European football as well. The style, the approach, the teams you're coming up against. We saw it in the Club World Cup, maybe to a degree with some of the games, Benfica, PSG. I'm not really worried about the league phase. I don't sit here and think we're not going to qualify for the next round. We might not automatically qualify, but I don't really care, because we don't know where everyone's going to finish. Like I do want to automatically qualify, but at the same time, it's like you look at Liverpool last season. They finished top. They got PSG. I kind of need to see where everybody else is as well before I'm like, oh yeah, we finished top of the group, and then we end up getting like Real Madrid or something. So for me, with this new format, I'm not really too concerned about qualifying. Obviously, automatic would be nice. What is that? Top 8?
Top 8.
Yeah. That might be touch and go, but we'll see. We'll see. We got, Barcelona at home is the big one. That's a worry. But outside of that, I still think we'll go through. It's the league, bro. Next time we speak, it will be Liverpool after Liverpool. Do you know what I mean? So I'm not really that stressed about tonight.
No, come on, Matisse, man. We need to play well, man. I'm tired, man. Honestly, bro. I'm tired, bro.
You want to play well, bro? We're not playing well. We're not playing well, bro. With the players that are missing now, I'm hearing.
No. Fuck all that,
I'm hearing Knox for Caicedo, João Pedro, Andre Santos, brother. Playing well is a figure of my imagination.
Now, Matisse, let me tell you something.
Just win.
Against Brighton, that was a very balanced lineup, yeah? Because Hato for a change, we actually had a left footer playing at left centre back for a change, yeah? We had Andre Santos helping us press from the front and actually defending and that, doing the whole box to box role. He was helping out. Enzo was playing a bit deeper than what he usually does as well, right? So we actually had balance, bro. And that's why you were seeing the team building the way that we were. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So today, I better see a similar sort of lineup, bro. I need to see some balance. Yeah, whether people like it or not, the likes of Badiashile and these sort of guys, they're there right now, bro. So start to use them. I don't know how much time they can get on the pitch. Lavia came on the other day. One of the first things he did was turn someone. Yeah. I'm praying that he can fucking start to be a little bit useful in the meantime as well, because Asugo's gone. Yeah. So we can play better than this, bro. You got to look at how the manager's setting up the team as well. I don't want to be seeing Tyree George coming on up top before Guy and these sort of things. I don't want to be seeing these things. They're talking about Pedro's got a knock, but you're literally running this guy into the ground. You know what I mean?
Do you know what, Don?
It's a bit mad, bro.
Do you know what, Don? It'll be such an interesting lineup, because I feel like the lineup will give away what the manager's thinking about Champions League now and what Matisse was saying, thinking about Liverpool during the weekend. because I truly hope, in order to go into that Liverpool game, we have to play well now. You can't expect to have a mediocre game against Benfica and then expect, we're going to go head to head with Liverpool. Liverpool's got flaws, you know. Crystal Palace showed them, right? And no one at the beginning of the season would have said Crystal Palace's squad is better than the Chelsea squad. I know now if I put up a poll, Crystal Palace's squad is better than Chelsea. It'll be a landslide because no one rates Chelsea anymore after 4 games, right? We're nobody. But I'm telling you, if we don't play well today, it's going to be a problem against Liverpool.
Sorry, just quickly, I have to ask everyone. There's João Pedro, there's Caicedo, there's Santos with Knox. If all 3 of them are a risk, do you play them tonight and leave them for Liverpool? Sorry, do you play them tonight and risk them not being available for Liverpool and aggravating whatever the knock is? Or do you drop all of them tonight, play Guiu, play Lavia, James in midfield,
and lose?
I'm not saying we're going to lose with those changes, but I'm just saying we've got how many injuries? 12? I don't know.
We've got 9.
9. And there's these guys here as well. I'm personally thinking we should look after these 3 because if we lose these 3, then we're finished.
Yesterday, the lineup, we said would start Lavia. So on Blue Diaries yesterday, we said we'd start Lavia. Who did we say that we'll play in the 10? Wait, let me go back to the lineup. I can't remember what was said.
You do realize you can have a lineup of Esteval, Mark Guiu, Garnacho, or Gittins. You can play Esteval on the 10, Neto off the right. You get Garnacho off the left, and you can play Lavia and Enzo in midfield, and then we know what our back 4 is like. We play our back 4.
That doesn't
but
scream good performance to me.
That's going to be that's
mumbo jumbo mixed team.
I need João Pedro to start.
I'm answering your question. If we don't, I'm not answering your question, Matisse.
Yeah, I hear you. That's why I'm not really asked anymore about the performance in this game because I'm preempting a mumbo jumbo lineup with these knocks potentially. If these knocks are serious, I would be resting all of them, which means I'm putting out a lineup that don't even know each other. So
but Matisse, you can still play.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you. Yeah,
Matisse,
you can.
So Matisse, okay, let's say we do a mumbo jumbo lineup today against Benfica, and we have the star-studded lineup against Liverpool, and still get packed. How you gonna feel after that?
We can get packed anyway. We can get packed anyway.
How you gonna enter that international break knowing what a fuckery Chelsea has done?
Bro, we're not favourites for Liverpool anyway. So we're going into Liverpool already stressed, regardless of how we play tonight.
Let me answer your question. Let me answer.
Nah, man, trust me, Matisse, man. Listen, it will change things.
I need to win tonight. I don't know about others.
Let me answer your question.
If those players are remotely fit, right? This will be monitored internally. We don't know if these players are capable of playing tonight. They play. Like they have. If there's a risk and they're not there and there's something off, then if they get rested, they get rested. But if they're capable of playing, they have to play because even a win breeds confidence as well. Just even showing up tonight and winning will help against Liverpool. But it depends on whether physically these guys can do it. I mean, it's no surprise now. Look at PSG. Have you seen their injuries? They got no players, bro. Like Barcelona are going to pack them out tonight. It's not even a question.
And that's why Eunice, bro. To finish off before we go into the break, bro. 2 W's, would be brilliant because when you look at the fixtures after, when like Palmer and that, are coming back, right? They're quite favourable. You know, got Forest away. It's never easy, but they've got Ange right now. He seems to just be losing game after game. You've got Sunderland at home. You've got Wolves away. You've got Spurs away, right? You got Wolves at home.
What are you saying? Title run.
Wolves, Burnley. I'm just saying that during that little period there, bro, between October and November, we're playing teams that are, you know, touted to be relegated. You know what I mean? So Sunderland, I know they've started off the season well, and I've actually predicted that they'll stay up, and they're playing well right now. They're above us right now. You know, but these are games that we should be winning.
What?
Man.
I'm gonna be real.
Sunderland above us, yeah.
I'm gonna be real.
They're above us.
Yeah, they are.
They're above us. Yeah, they are.
I'm going to be completely honest here. We need a win because I don't think you guys are estimating correctly what what a win in the Champions League would do for this team. We haven't
said
been
we
in the
shouldn't win.
Champions League.
Who sit here? and said
Let
we
me
shouldn't win again?
finish, brother.
Because you're saying stuff that don't make no sense,
bro.
Who said we don't need a win?
Let me finish, bro. All I'm simply saying, if we could win tonight and win with somewhat of a performance, this would breed a lot of confidence going into Liverpool. Because again, we didn't win against Bayern Munich. If we did win against Bayern Munich, then this would be like, hey, we could probably, quote unquote, not take this game as serious. But we need to take this game serious. A win in the Champions League help us kick off our Champions League campaign, because hey, we still need to kick that off. We win somewhat.
Javon, we got Barcelona and Napoli as well in this.
Exactly. So, which is why I'm saying a convincing win here breathes life into Liverpool. Breathes life into say, you know what? Chelsea kicks off their Champions League campaign. They played well. We're playing at home against Liverpool. It's not like we're going to Anfield. They're coming to the bridge. It changed the whole direction of how I look at Anfield. I'm sorry, how I look at the Liverpool game. Whether these players are carrying knocks or not. I'm expecting a performance at Stamford Bridge either way, but I'm saying a win tonight against Jose at that. I'm just saying, it does something for us.
Bro, trust me, I'm telling you, bro, a big reason why people were confident is because of how we were playing, man. Look at the fluid football we were playing in the Club World Cup. Even when we came back here after the Club World Cup and we played AC Milan and Leverkusen, it looked like we didn't go anywhere, bro. You know what I'm saying? And then Palace, you come back to Palace, it's slow, it's lazy. Second half a little bit better, cool. West Ham, yes, we battered them, and thank God we did what we did against Potter, because I told you, look, that guy's not going to be there next time we face them, right? And then against Brentford, the first half slow, second half a bit better when he brings on all the big guns and that. We haven't been consistently playing well, bro, and this is why the fan base feel the way that they do right now. Yeah, I don't think Matisse, you have crashed these sporting directors, bro. Yeah, but you would have not predicted Chelsea to finish second if we were playing like how we're playing now. Impossible. None of us would.
We were playing
None
well.
of us would.
I didn't like what they did with the striker position. I didn't like what they did with left winger. I didn't like what they did with Mike Maignan.
But even regardless of all of that, because we were that the team had enough.
Yeah, because listen, I always back the players. I don't turn on players really. I criticize them and I move on. I don't really turn on players. The only player I turned on properly, which was mad, it was Lukaku.
Yeah. He deserved that. He deserved that.
A lot of these players, in my opinion, they're fast tracked. So I support them because I know that they're fast tracked, and I know that it's probably too much too soon for a lot of them. Even Garnacho, even since he's coming, I've not said nothing. You have nothing to say. He's not.
We haven't even played.
You know. So what can you do? But
do you know what?
Yeah,
today, before we go into super chats and wrap this up, the one thing I will say tonight's game, it will give me an insight into how Enzo Maresca, how much he has matured as well. He's done a fantastic job against Luis Enrique in the Club World Cup final. Brilliant. But Jose Mourinho with this Benfica isn't the most talented Benfica team. They've been struggling. They've been going through turmoil. They brought back Jose. You just know it's not going to be the most prettiest game. I can tell you right now, this is not going to be free-flowing entertainment, beautiful passing. Benfica will be there to make it so difficult. And I just want to see how Enzo Maresca deals with that, because you're now going to come up against a manager that is so experienced at this level. Yeah, he's declining, coming to his end of his career, but he's absolutely the boss when it comes to one-off games, and he knows the weakness. He knows where your weakness. You're trying to cover your wound. He goes, I see where that wound is. You can cover as much as you want. I'm a poke right there. So let's just see that Enzo Maresca is able to combat that.
Really quickly, I just checked Benfica's last couple of results. They have been playing well.
Since Mourinho's come in.
They're on a bounce. They're on a bounce.
No, fellas. It's been before Mourinho, and because I spoke to a Benfica fan, that sacking of the managers was more so political than actual footballing wise. I'm just saying.
Benfica lost to Ludogorets or whoever.
But that's in the Champions League. When you look at their league form, it's been good. It's been good. They lost the Karabakh in the league phase, but the league form has been good.
Yeah, and this is why it will be even. That's why it will be even more of a good thing if we perform well, Javon. Because if you're saying that they're playing well and we're not playing well, and we actually convincingly beat them, that's gonna give these guys more confidence, man. You know what I mean? I'm seeing right now their striker, what's his name? Pavlidis.
Pavlidis, yeah.
He scored 2 goals over there, did he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he did.
He scored a penalty and he scored. Yeah, I can see they played 4-2-3-1 as well. Knowing these guys will probably go to a back 5. Hopefully they don't. You know, I actually want them to come out a bit, but let's see what happens, man. Because we've still got, for me, we've got injuries right now, but we've still got enough quality to hurt these sort of teams, man.
Well, we
100%.
faced these lot in the Club World Cup as well, if you remember, and that was the one that
yeah.
away.
Yeah,
and
they've got a new manager
Oh,
now.
the
and they've
weather.
got new players.
The weather.
Yeah.
Hey,
but now with Jose in charge, like, we know exactly how he's going to set up. We know exactly, and it's that case of maybe we might have the front foot, we might have most of the ball, but if we're not clinical, if we can't penetrate through, we can easily leave ourselves exposed on the counter. Defensively, we know we're struggling. If they turn to route one, long throws, set pieces, all of that, then we got to pray. Simple. The aim tonight would be to just try and score more than the opponents.
It's going to be a mad watch along today.
I actually think we should start Bonanonte with Esteval. I don't want to see two touchline wingers at all. I don't want to see Esteval in a rigid 10 with Neto on the right and Garnacho on the left. Pick one of Garnacho or Neto on the left. I'd probably go Garnacho because he's had a lot of games recently. Just play Bonanonte and play Esteval together and let them interchange. Just keep it interesting, man.
Much like the Club World Cup, this will be the game that change our season.
What do you do for the pivot?
The pivot is up to the medical team, I guess. I don't want to risk our midfielders because I think we have to have Caicedo and Santos for Liverpool. So I'll probably play
Lavia.
Lavia, yeah. Or if Lavia can't start, I don't know why he wouldn't be able to, but it's Lavia, then I have to put Reece James in now. I don't know.
Does he even get through 90 minutes?
I don't want to see Reece in there again.
I know, but Lavia, I don't know if Lavia is fit, bro, like that. I don't know.
Man.
He even play a half.
He came on the other day. I'm sure he listen, he was on the bench and he's been training for a minute now. Let's just play him, please.
Bro, I'm playing Caicedo, Andre Santos, Enzo Fernandez. I'm playing them all 3, bro. I need to win, bro. I want to win.
No players.
No, why not? I'm hoping they're going to stay fit, win the game. Let's go to Liverpool after that. All right, super chats time.
Who Liverpool got in the Champions League? They've got Galatasaray. Hey, that's the way as well. That's the way as well.
Not easy.
I hope Galatasaray smash them up. I swear. I hope they smash them up.
Back as well. So yeah.
Yes, I love it. That's what I want to hear. Dan, big up to you. Go on, bro. Go on, Jaman.
I was going to say, much like the Club World Cup against Benfica, this is the game that changes our season. We're going to do it, boys.
Come on.
I believe.
Come on. Dan, big up to you, my man. Thank you so much for the super chat. If not, big up, brothers.
If not, we just enjoy the reunion. And that's
yes.
Eunice, I knew you were always looking to say this. I know deep down.
Listen.
You kind of want Benfica to win.
He's playing
say
against
it, Eunice.
them.
Say it,
Listen.
You want Benfica to win. I know you.
No. You see, you misconstrued everything. This is don't misconstrue. I'm saying if we have to put out some makeshift lineup and it's players that don't play together and all of this, then just tonight's a reunion and that's it. We don't need to entertain about.
I know deep down, Eunice is going 1-0 Benfica counter attack win. I know he's going for that.
Hold on, does anybody want to bring Disasi back?
I would love. What?
I don't care. I don't care. Honestly, I don't care.
We're losing headers. We're losing headers.
Listen,
I was going to say I'll take a 1-0
centre back.
I was going to say I'll take a 1-0 Chelsea all day long under this circumstance, but Disasi, bro.
Disasi against Liverpool.
Nah.
Eunice, I know you want Jose to 1-0 and run around with his finger up. run the whole Stamford Bridge. Just put
No,
that.
no,
I know
no
deep
chance.
down you'll give me like, that's
No
my
chance.
gaffer.
I need an Enzo goal. I need an Enzo goal and for him to do this one. You know what he did with Benfica when he scored
Yeah.
that?
Against
Yeah.
his club. Yeah.
I need him to do that today, bro. Yeah, I'm staying here. You know what I mean?
Free kick,
Yeah.
Enzo free kick, Enzo free kick, bro. Enzo free kick.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Bro, we
Yeah,
got
let's-
that
let's
one
see,
free
let's see
kick
what
from
happens.
Enzo and never again.
Dan, big up, my man. Thank you so much. Big up, brothers. General Ma. You know what? Matisse was on smoke today. People have been saying man of the match. Big up to you, Matisse, on that. X Noise. Thank you so much. Fun fact number 1: Sporting directors got the contract extension before Caicedo. Fun fact number 2: Cole Palmer has the lowest wage in the group of top 10 at Ballon d'Or. Yeah.
That second one's good for business. The first one's a
Yeah.
fucking disgrace.
Yeah, with our wage structure, it doesn't matter who from our team finished in the Ballon d'Or. They could have won the
They're
Ballon d'Or.
always-
They would have had the lowest pay.
Always going to be the lowest pay. And that could be a problem down the track next season if Cole Palmer turns around saying, I can earn double the money elsewhere. So, anywho, John, big up. Maresca knew the model before taking the job.
We all knew the model when we made our predictions. You know what I mean?
I love that, Don. We all knew the model, but we
It's
still
true,
made the
though.
predictions. But
It's
we still
true.
made the predictions.
It's true.
First he said, you know what you didn't sign up for, so you can't be angry.
I swear, Don just played the trump card. He goes, we all knew the model, and we still predicted.
Funny.
It's true, man. We did a couple W's, bro. Trust me. And the narrative will change. I'm telling you, the narrative will change. I've been watching football too long, man.
100%. Frosty, big up to you, my man. Enzo Maresca can sit here and make excuses. Most of the fans rated the squad. Either Maresca adapts and changes the system, or he should be sacked. Well, look, I know they've been saying that no pressure. Yeah, I dare you to lose tonight. And move into the Liverpool game, with nothing to show, and then lose that one as well. We'll see what happens then.
I will say
the
this about tonight specifically. We can't lose tonight, and I'll explain why. Because if we lose tonight, this isn't just a normal loss. It's not like, okay, the Brighton loss was a loss. That's it, just for what it stands for. What tonight could stand is losing to everything Chelsea used to be, sitting on that dugout right there.
Oh.
That's like that. A lot of fans will be like, but see, like we're screwed. Like we can't lose tonight. Even if we draw or anything, which I think, and in hindsight, I said this in the preview, this might help us. A draw, I still don't want to draw, but I think deep down, Jose will be happy with a draw. We know what it's like when we used to go away from home and pick up a point. Like we used to be happy with that, and then get the results at home. This is why tonight I would say we have to win. We have to win.
The thing is, what's so annoying about it is that like we're scoring, bro. We're scoring goals. Like we're scoring fucking goals. Yeah, it's just keeping them out the back of the net, and it's not even like we're getting played through. We're just gifting, man. We're just what you want a little present? Christmas coming soon? Okay, there you go. You know what I mean? Chalobah, there you go. Chalobah's even cut his hair now. Yeah, and he's still moving like a criminal. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand what's going on, bro. You know what I mean?
I'm sure Jose's going to be thinking, which Chelsea player going to gift me today? So I know I'm getting a gift.
I'm taking a bingo card with me to the bridge, and I'm writing all the players' names. Yeah, and I promise you now, I'm gonna get a full line. Yeah, because someone is gonna do something. Have we, bro? I've been watching Santos now for over 3 years, basically. Yeah. And I've never seen this guy have such a blunder, right? Yeah. Such a blunder. But that blunder now led to, this is what happens when you buy young players. This is what, and I'm like, what?
Santos shit now. Santos shit.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, people telling me Santos shit now. So
yeah,
I've got to listen to the people. I'll listen to the people, bro. Frosty, big up to you. Sporting directors and Maresca out. Blueco out. Thank you for that one. Ahmed, big up to you. Thank you for that super chat. Asad's in the building. You know, this one's going to be a mad one. Maresca lawyers.
Hide yourself.
Maresca lawyers. No, he's moving like Poch. Poor in-game management. Poor subs playing players out of position. Poor discipline. Blame SDs. Talk tosh.
Let me reply to that, Asad. Yeah, listen, you're spot on to criticize Maresca, but what it is, because it's literally game week 6. I'm just hoping, bro, when it comes to a big checkpoint like Christmas, we're looking back at this period and saying, yo, we started off the season poorly, but now it's the Chelsea that we know. That's what I'm hoping to happen, bro. I'm hoping he's come out and acknowledged that he's been doing some fuckery.
Yes, yes,
he knows.
yes.
He knows.
So today he has to rectify. No more fuckery. Today you play your best. Asad, big up again. We are here because of this manager, Neto. Cook him. Neto kind of did talk against him, I have to say. CFC, big up, my man. It may seem small, but the manager's mindset in playing backwards also causes that mistake. On Saturday, drop ball, Enzo passes backwards. Santos' first thought is back to keeper. Yeah, I get you. Like our initial thought is always back. Like Malo Gusto went back when it was clear. You were clear on side. He went back. Why is he doing that? It must be drilled. It surely must be drilled in these players.
Yeah, but look how many times we played. Look how many times we played through them by going back and forth, bro. Like you draw them in towards you, and then you play through the gaps.
That's true, but where Gusto was, like you need to be running.
No, that's the situation. That's the. I'm not referring to that. I'm saying when Chalobah gave the ball to Santos. Yeah, like for me, bro, he's being pressed. Santos could have even played it to Sanchez with one pass. He didn't have to take a touch. Play back to Sanchez. Let Minte in that press. They're gonna create space in the middle. We build again. There was even a pattern of play in the first half. Yeah. There must have been at least 10, 15 passes before we got to the edge of their box. There was even Caicedo. He got the ball in the middle. I don't know if you guys remember. He turned like 2 players just with his body when he got the ball from the build-up, and we were out of it. And I saw that on a few occasions during the game because we were beating that press. We were beating their press, bro.
100%, man. AMT, big up, my man. Wasn't your first 6 games favorable? It was. CFC once again. Like this. Brighton, Cobham, Leicester, Cobham, Brighton, Benfica, Palmeiras City, Wolves, Brighton, 1.5 billion sign, an adult from a top club. Nah, that's mad. Now, all right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to wrap things up because we got to go. Lads have got to go as well. Thank you so much once again, each and every one of you guys. Smash up the like button. I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode, and hopefully by next week, we've got a more better outlook about our team. Subscribe to each and every one of us. The details are in the description, and we shall see you guys. I'm sure everyone's doing watch-alongs and whatnot, and we'll see you guys after all of this is done next week after the Liverpool game. Until next time, everyone, take care. See ya. Bye.